We've all heard the phrase, that kind of thing doesn't happen in our town. But here on Midwest Murder, True Crime Stories, we will shatter that false reality. In fact, it happens more often than we know, and sometimes the details of the most horrific crimes that happen in our neighborhoods are lost in the back pages of newspapers, forgotten on our news channels, and eventually erased over time. We're here to talk about murder, diving into some of the most controversial cases in Midwest history. The show will not shy away from the morbid details of these horrific events and the often ugly truths behind them. What you will hear is a detailed timeline of events, perspectives from those closely involved, and analysis by experts. What you will feel is the darkness that surrounds each story, the innocence lost by the victims, and hopefully the justice that was ultimately delivered.
Jonah Lanto.
Don Palumbo.
Here we are again.
Yeah, we are back, and it's so good to be back with each and every one of you tuning in with us this evening or this afternoon. If you're on the replay,
Whichever.
We appreciate it either way. If you check out that QR code graphic on your screen, that'll lead you to all things related to Midwest Murder. We would love to see you at a live show. We got a few yet coming up this year, so come check us out at the Dickens Festival here at the end of the year. It's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, we've got Minneapolis. We've got Lignite. Just Dickens Festival is all we've got left.
Dickens Festival is all we've got left by the time this show airs.
We only have one left.
One opportunity to see Midwest Murder live yet this year. It is at the Dickens Festival. We'd love to have you. But otherwise, you can follow us on social media, keep up with what is to come next. And we'll be kicking off the new season of Midwest Murder True Crime Stories on Beck TV in January.
Yeah.
So today's story takes us back to 1971. What was happening back then? Richard Nixon had been in office for 2 years and the Vietnam War raged on. He expanded bombing into Laos and protests exploded on campuses across the country. The voting age in the United States was lowered from 21 to 18 as the 26th Amendment was ratified. Apollo 14 and Apollo 15 kept the space race alive with astronauts Alan Shepard and David Scott walking on the moon. Shepard even swung a golf club up there, knocking a ball into lunar history. Greenpeace was founded in Vancouver, launching a new era of environmental activism.
It's probably just floating around up there still. Great.
It's still out there for sure. I don't think the golf ball's landed.
Yeah.
At the movies, Dirty Harry gave us Clint Eastwood asking if we felt lucky.
And called us a punk.
Us a punk. A Clockwork Orange shocked censors, and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory brought a golden ticket to the screen.
Makes me want to fight Grandpa Joe.
He's the real villain.
We've been talking about Grandpa Joe now for a couple of weeks, since we first were introduced to this story.
You may not have realized it, guys, but Grandpa Joe's the real villain in that story.
He is the true villain.
On TV, All in the Family debuted with Archie Bunker, sparking arguments in living rooms across America and in music. Led Zeppelin released album 4 with Stairway to Heaven, and John Lennon's Imagine became an anthem for peace. And in toy aisles, kids begged for Weebles that wobble but don't fall down, Etch-a-Sketch, Rock'em Sock'em robots, and the brand spanking new Nerf football.
Man, how many times
you could finally get a football thrown at you and not get beamed in the face with it.
I was just
beamed with pigskin.
I was just saying, man, how many times have I been hit with a Nerf football? Yeah, that's wild.
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't. Well, I mean, it depends, but yeah, sure.
The Brandts, Herbert and Isla, grew up in war-torn Germany. They're new Americans arriving in Texas as immigrants in 1955. Their first daughter is Angela. She's born sometime around here. The couple relocated to Connecticut a year later. That's where Isla gives birth to their second child, the son, Carl, although he'll be called Charlie by those closest to him. Carl is a shy AB student who follows the rules and stays unnoticed. In 1968, yet another transfer, this time to Fort Wayne, Indiana. After spending more than 10 years in Connecticut, the family's not thrilled about moving.
No, especially at those ages, right?
Yeah, in middle school type age, not at all. Carl, a shy kid, found it very hard to adjust. Nevertheless, Herbert works his ass off. Full-time job at International Harvester during the day, full-time college student at night.
Wow.
Through years of work and effort, Herbert earned a degree and climbed a ladder from laborer to draftsman all the way up to project engineer. Although no one in the family really likes Indiana, the Brandts settle in a cul-de-sac called Stony Brook Drive. They have no roots or relatives in the area, and the family's friendly, if not quite outwardly social.
I would say that's likely upper middle class. I mean,
you're not wrong.
And even Stony Brook Drive.
Gosh, nice.
It sounds idyllic.
Well, Florida becomes the family's home away from home, an escape. Summers and Christmases are usually spent out on the coast. Carl hunts in the morning with his father. Afternoons are spent on the beach. It is, as you said, an idyllic, hard-earned lifestyle.
I did not know that was coming.
It was there. Just you felt it.
Yeah.
By 1970, Herbert and Isla had 2 more daughters, now ages 3 and 2. Angela is a responsible, caring older sister, and Carl, a loving younger brother who often babysits his young siblings and rides them around on his bike, really doing all the cool things you'd expect from a good older brother.
I mean, there's such an age difference. I mean, it's almost like they had a second litter. Like,
Yes,
I
you're
mean,
not wrong. Yep, you've got 2 at the older kind of portion and then 2 of these younger ones as things stabilize and the career gets better. But Christmas vacation in Florida that year didn't really go so well. The family dog, a gift the previous year, was mostly Carl's responsibility. Still a puppy and learning, the dog made messes, had accidents, and didn't always listen, particularly to Herbert. But Carl cleaned up after the animal and loved it like part of the family. Apparently, during a hunt, the family dog wouldn't obey commands and come in when called by Herbert, and the dog ran off, refusing to return with them, so they just left it. The next day, they spotted the dog and pulled over to get it, but still it wouldn't come.
Because it probably spent a horrific night on its own.
Yeah, terrified,
Oh,
I'm
man.
sure. Herbert, now a little angry, decides to fire 2 warning shots into the brush, hoping to scare the dog out. Now, Don...
Into the brush, not into the sky, which is also weird.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not a hunter or a dog trainer, but I'm pretty comfortable going on record saying that I think this is a really stupid thing to do, and not just because I know what happens.
Why wouldn't you shoot them into the sky?
Right. Why shoot
Or at
it
all? At all? But
how is the
why
dog,
not?
How is that going to scare the dog to you? It's going to scare the dog away from you.
And what if there's another human in the brush?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, depending on how tall the brush is, I guess I don't know.
No,
But
regardless, sadly, the family dog did not survive these, quote, warning shots. Young Carl is devastated, but forcefully stops himself from crying and just keeps on going with the day.
because that's the healthiest thing to do.
Not so much.
And probably the right thing to do in his household, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird set of circumstances because everything that I have says this is a pretty loving, balanced household.
Well, as long as you don't show emotion. Would be my guess.
Well, perhaps, yeah.
Yeah.
January 3rd, 1971, they arrive home from Florida. It's just after midnight and everybody goes to bed. Sunday is the reset before school and work resume on Monday. Unpacking, chores, cleaning up throughout the day. For supper, Isla makes pork chops, green beans, and hash browns. Carl has a glass of milk. It's just after 9 p.m. A brand new color TV lights the living room. 15-year-old Angela goes to bed as the credits are rolling on The FBI, a TV show. Upstairs, a razor hums from within the master bedroom as Herbert shaves. In the tub next to him, Isla, 8 months pregnant, is reading Time magazine. The 2 smallest girls, ages 3 and 2, are fast asleep. At the kitchen table, 9th grade Carl is struggling to complete a school project that was actually due before his family went on vacation. At some point, he quietly wandered into his parents' room, opened the nightstand, and took out his father's 9mm handgun. Dropping the empty magazine that kept in the pistol, Carl seats a loaded magazine, racks the slide, and tucks the weapon back into his waistband. He returns to the kitchen table, sits down, and continues like he's working. For a time. Find out what happens when we come back.
It's not going to be good.